So if you didn't notice, I haven't been posting. It's probably because of this drama things. So this guy right here, Mr. Glitch Time. I recently cut him off for his toxicity towards my group of friends. And I'm not here to harass him. Also, just to point out, this, he did not say, do not harass him. There was no professional work or disclaimer. He just put his side of the argument. Anyway, since he only shadows his side of the argument, I will address my side to this and put more effort than just CapCut templates. So, let's take a step to the beginning. Back in 2023, I met a guy named Mr. Playtime, along with a friend, SG1. Just to be clear right now, SG1 had nothing to do with this drama at all. He was never between me or and him. This was strictly between me and Playtime. At the time, we were just normal Roblox players, no projects, no arguments, no drama. I helped him in Roblox Piggy to get Mr. P. And we actually succeeded. So, that was our first real interaction, and it was chill. Because of that, we started talking more and eventually became friends. Later on, he gave me his Discord, and I'm not going to show his full user for privacy reasons. We talked casually for a while, played games, shared ideas, nothing serious yet. At this point, there was no tension. No ownership issues, no arguments, just normal conversations. This part matters because it shows how things started between us and him, no, me and him. It's like, how it ended is crazy. As time went on, I started playing Roblox more often, and that's when he met someone on the name of Steaming Whistle, also known as Steamy94535. He plays a big role in the situation. Later on, we recorded videos together, and our first interaction was actually recorded. Most of those videos ended up being unlisted later during the drama. That detail matters because it shows how things were being hidden or moved once problems started showing. At this point, everything still looked fine from the outside, but slowly patterns started forming. Promises were made about ideas and projects, but very little actually happened. When Glitchland was first announced by him, people were excited. Nobody. Sorry, I was excited too. Even early on, there was a lack of effort that became noticeable. When people call him lazy, it's not meant as an insult, it's an observation based on actions over time. The longer I knew him, the more the tone shifted. He became more toxic in how he talked to people in the group. That negativity eventually affected Steamy as well, which later caused Steamy to make some videos. We'll get that part later. He kept saying, leave. This is important because it shows the environment was already starting to fall apart, even before the main conflict even happened. Okay, so this is where things start to matter, because this is about Glitchland. Okay. Glitchland was presented as his dream game, his idea, his vision. I joined because I wanted to help it make it real. I was not expecting ownership. I was not expecting control. I expected teamwork. What actually happened was extremely different than my expectations. I mean, I don't make the rules, but if you're an owner of something, you should actually show that you own it. Show your ownership. From the beginning, I was the one actively building, scripting, making UI, and pushing that project forward. Progress only happened when I was working. When I stopped, progress stopped. This is not an opinion. This is a pattern that can be proven with timestamps, assets, and messages. While I was working on the game, he would often say he was going to animate, build, or do something important. But instead, he would be watching YouTube shorts or playing other games. There are moments where I made full systems or maps that were later deleted. without discussion. That alone is a huge issue with any team project. When you delete someone's work without communication, it shows a lack of respect for the time and effort. This is where the ownership problem really began. I was working on the project, but the project was still being presented as entirely his, as if he was making it on his own. This is also where ADHD was brought up in an explanation. I want to be very clear here. ADHD can make things harder. It does not prevent communication and certainly not effort. It does not prevent honesty. I've worked on this project. No, I've worked with people who have ADHD who still contribute, including people in my own projects. The issue was not ADHD. The issue was consistency and accountability. Over time, it became clear that Glitchland was not moving forward because of leadership. It was moving forward because I was pushing it. When I stopped pushing it, it stalled. When I questioned this, I was treated as the problem. That is when the situation crossed from collaboration into manipulation. This is not me saying I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I got frustrated. I said things I could have worded better. But frustration does not erase facts. And the facts show that the workload was one-sided. The credit was uneven, and the responsibility. This is why Glitchland matters so much in this story. It's not just a game. It was the clearest example of what actually happened behind the scenes. Now, if we go back in time a few months, I was making a game with him. Another key role, Rozbotics. It was called Bob. A simple game which was similar to Roblox Piggy. He followed the same pattern in deleting my work, and me and Rozbotics, or Roz, thought of a professional way of stopping the project for him, following the patterns of not helping and deleting work and watching shorts, saying he was bored or stating he had no ideas, which didn't matter since I always found something to do, either coding for it or building maps. We removed him from the game named Bob since it felt right and the game development died there. It's not that we didn't need him for the game, it's that the game wouldn't work with him as the leader. Now back to Glitchland. I made several maps and coded multiple major factors of it. Then we had an animator join. But before stating him, I want to address that Playtime or Glitchtime, his new name nowadays, could animate too, but not as good as Roz. So that's a big major factor. I'm not being rude, just he's not as good as he was now, and Roz was not all that better than him at the time, because he just got into animating with Moon Animator. Now we tend to play around with him sometimes in the project, such as Roz getting kicked from it, which happened because he deleted something and re-added it, which didn't harm the project at all. He was put in a playtest role, which he couldn't do anything, which was a big mistake because he quit the project. After that, not Playtime, but Roz, which didn't harm the project very much. But later on, I noticed some things about Glitchland. It was like an awakening to me. I realized I was being used, and I caught the evidence of his responses in my argument and statements, which are along the lines of, me, I'm carrying the game, Playtime, expand the team, or actually do something for the game, besides just watching shorts. I'm tweaking, bro. I need help with this game. The game is about you, Playtime, or whoever you want me to call you. It's about you, but you don't have to make the game like that. Glitchland is just about you, and the story doesn't fit in the game at all. I made a little map, and you claim you are animating while it's not what you're doing. I literally gotta break it to you. I don't want to work on your game that is credited as if you made it all. Playtime. When I did all the work, at least give me a huge credit. If I'm going to carry the game this hard, I am tired of making your game. I deserve credit along with the project. No, not the along with the project. For the project. I'm gonna say it again. I need credit for what I'm doing because it's too much. For example, I made a lobby, like a blueprint as a lobby, basically with little features. You deleted it. And after you deleted it, it wasn't even worth it in the end. It turned out to be a freaking grass plane with spikes. You made a grass plane with spikes. Like, at least 50 studs. That's all you did. And if you're going to say you were going to add more, I don't believe you. Not to be rude, but based on your build style, it's not going to look good. Unless you actually cared and didn't use me for your project as your dream game. I'm not taking this treatment. And if you want me to continue making this game with you, I am not taking this treatment. I know I asked to work on this, but earlier in the project days, you did nothing. And to this day, you did nothing. Nothing at all. Until I got the idea to build maps, which was my map, or whatever you call it. You said remake it. What do you mean remake it? I spent quality time on this. I would have wasted time on it, but thankfully you didn't delete it yet. I'm just letting you know, Playtime, even whoever is reading this in the group chat, I do not want to be manipulated or used for your dream project. I want to help, but not be treated as a tool which works for you and makes your dream. Playtime says this. Zoe, I have ADHD. I respond with, listen, Playtime, ADHD is real, but it doesn't excuse ignoring work, deleting my stuff, or avoiding responsibility. When I make games with, like, Rosbotics, who has ADHD, he actually works, he contributes, communicates, and he doesn't use that as an excuse. I'm not here to be used for your game. If ADHD is your excuse, that's not valid. Be honest, you're being lazy. I can't keep building this game if my work keeps getting deleted or ignored. Right now, I do most of the work while you make random changes, and I have no idea where this project is going. This has been your dream project since July 20th, 2025. But nothing was done until I joined. You're planning to release it on April 20th, 2026, and the timeframes aren't realistic. Unless we both commit seriously. I need you to actually start contributing in a real way, or I'm done. I'm lifting this project for you, but I'm not doing it all alone. He responds with, I'm playing JWE3 right now. I'll get on in a bit, and I'm not making an excuse with my ADHD. I respond with, then what? He says, I just get bored often. I respond, but actions speak louder than words. But I'm not going to carry this project alone either. You actually contribute to the game, or I'm done with this game. And he says, I kind of hate it too. I respond, so you're saying you hate working on it? He says, no. The ADHD part. I say, ADHD doesn't have anything to do with this, bro. ADHD doesn't have anything to do with this. People with ADHD still work on projects, communicate, and show effort. Like Roz with ADHD, who actually helps me on games. This isn't about ADHD. This is about you not putting the work. I'm not carrying your project alone, and I'm done if you're not going to contribute to the game Playtime. Here's Sunda. Just shut up. I'm getting on. This was the climax of it. Leading to some immature things I did. I apologize. I made videos in anger towards what he did. I regret doing this since it was immature to make these joke edits on the game, which were never released publicly. I was in the wrong doing that, I admit, but I didn't change the fact that we only made one or two, and I stated I never intended to harm him mentally. Not saying he had any he wasn't affected mentally, but these videos were stated to be jokes, not harassment. Which saying this does not mean I'm right at this point. Since I was being immature and irresponsible for my actions, I did cause Steaming Whistle to make one too. But I caused that. It's my fault. I apologize for causing it. But we got over it. After a little bit, then came some strange things Playtime did. So Playtime generated an image of our Roblox characters kissing without permission, which was that disgusting imagery, and I have proof of what he'd done. My response again, this was immature and aggressive, but I was for the right reason. I felt offended by what he created. This is not in a joking manner, this is serious. This depends on my future as a content creator on the platform. Remember that he never states to not harass the creator of me, since he didn't censor my username, which totally violates the terms on the YouTube platform. So, now we're getting to something that happened. The Roblox court case. It's not the schlep one. It's like an in-game thing we did. So, to really put everything on the table, we actually filmed a Roblox court case. Yeah, it sounds funny, but it was serious to show who actually did the work on Glitchland and who didn't. Everyone was there. Me, Glitchtime, Playtime, Roz, Milky, Steamy, Glitch Devs. Even everyone involved is mostly a jury or arguers. The whole point was simple. Figure out who really contributed and who was claiming credit. From the start, it was obvious. Playtime tried to say he was the owner just because it was his idea. But if we're being real, he did almost nothing. I built the maps, coded the systems, made the UI, and added the gameplay features. Ownership isn't about ideas. Ownership is about the work. And that's what we're proving. We went through messages, screenshots, assets, basically everything. I even had outside opinions from Steamy and the other judges, and they all confirmed the same thing. The work that mattered, I did it. Playtime, he admitted he got bored. Didn't actually work on the game, and even tried to use ADHD as an explanation. But like I said before, ADHD does not stop people from putting effort or communicating. That was just him avoiding responsibility. There were some immature moments. Yeah, I made jokes, edits, I got frustrated. But the court wasn't about that. The main thing was about showing the truth. I wasn't trying to take credit unfairly. Every map, every system, every future that mattered, I made it. And the court made that clear. By the end, it was obvious the game ran because of me. Playtime had the idea, but ideas do not make games. Work does. And the court literally proved that. The whole session shows why looking at evidence matters. Who actually did the work, and not the one who says they did. This isn't being mean or flexing, it's about the facts. The facts are, I carried Glitchland. Playtime didn't. That's the reality. The hard, cold truth. That brings us to today. So that we covered everything from Glitchland, the work, and the Roblox court. We need to talk about what Playtime / Glitchtime is doing now. His new shorts are honestly wrong. Not just wrong in opinion, but actually breaking YouTube rules. I'm not here to be mean. I'm here to state facts and protect creators, including myself. He's been posting videos that only show his side of the story. He never mentions don't harass me or anything about respecting others while posting. That might seem small, but on YouTube that matters. If someone takes your username, your content, and twists it to make you one-sided info, it makes you look wrong, they're encouraging harassment. Without disclaimers, it's bad. YouTube rules specifically say you can't encourage harassment, and you must respect privacy in certain cases. But by saying don't harass me and posting on YouTube, that could target creators. He is walking dangerously close to breaking those rules. The fact that he shadowed his side only and didn't censor my username makes it worse. That's why this isn't about drama or jokes anymore. This is serious. This could affect both him and the people targeted, including myself, as a creator on the platform. It's not about making me being salty or trying to call him out for fun. It's about protecting the truth and making sure content creators don't get used or harassed. While others profit off one-sided narratives, I'm all for the debate and discussion. But there are rules, and his shorts are ignoring them. This affects the future of me as a content creator and shows how the community sees accountability and how creators should be more careful about one-sided stories. So yeah, I'm just pointing out that no matter what his intentions are, what he's doing with his shorts is not okay. One-sided content, no disclaimers, shadowing the truth, and showing and ignoring TOS rules. It's serious, and it needs to be addressed so people don't think this behavior is acceptable on YouTube. Looking back at everything that happened, I realized how much this situation taught me about communication, boundaries, and the responsibilities of teamwork. It's easy to get caught up with excitement when you're building projects with friends, especially in Roblox or other games where ideas are constantly flying around. But when one person isn't putting in the effort or is deleting work, it shows the importance of setting clear expectations and having everybody accountable from the start. I learned that just because someone has an idea or calls it their dream project doesn't mean they're contributing meaningfully. And I know how critical it is to recognize that early before too much work is invested. This reflection isn't about the drama. It's about growing as a content creator, as a collaborator, and understanding that frustration and anger are natural because they don't excuse poor behavior or toxic interactions. Another thing I realized is how much actions speak louder than words. In this whole Glitchland situation, it was obvious that through timestamps, assets, messages, and gameplay systems, who was actually doing the work. Seeing the truth laid out, even when I was angry, helped me understand that holding evidence and being organized is a key in any project. It's not about knowing what is real. It's something I'll carry forward with every collaboration I do in the future. Whether it's a game development, content creation, or even just group projects online, you can't rely on trust alone. You need proof, documentation, and clear communication. I also thought a lot about the people that affected around me, like Steamy and Roz. Even if conflict wasn't directly about them, they were impacted by the environment and way things unfolded. That taught me how important it is to consider other creators and collaborators and not just focus on your own frustration or feelings. Even when I reacted immaturely by making joke videos or edits, I had to think about that affected them and take responsibility. The same goes for Playtime. I don't need to forgive him for the record, but reflecting on what went wrong, how I responded, and how others were involved gives me a perspective on how to handle future projects without dragging others into drama. Looking forward, I've also realized the importance of boundaries. I'm now more cautious about who I collaborate with and how I define roles in projects. Ownership, credit, and responsibilities need to be clear from the beginning. If someone is there to watch YouTube shorts while I do all the work, that's a red flag. If someone posts content without disclaimers or encourages one-sided narratives, that's another. This experience taught me to not just trust people verbally, but to have systems in place that protect my work, my name, and the content I create. That's part of being a professional creator, even on platforms like Roblox and YouTube. Finally, this situation has motivated me to set a better example for the community. I want to show that drama can happen, but it doesn't have to define your growth or career. You can respond responsibly, take ownership of mistakes, protect others, and keep creating. I'm focused on my work could be misrepresented or stolen, so yeah, that's the full story from start to finish. From meeting with Playtime back in 2023, building Glitchland, dealing with deleted work or one-sided narratives, amateur moments, and even on Roblox courts, it all led to this point where I had to step back and set boundaries. I learned that a lot about teamwork, credit, accountability, and protecting my work as a content creator. This isn't about calling someone out or for fun or holding grudges. It's about showing the truth, standing up for myself, and making sure creators aren't used or misinterpreted going forward. I'm going to focus on projects where everybody contributes, respect is real, and work is appreciated. Drama doesn't define me. My effort does. And I'll keep building, creating, and sharing while keeping my name and community safe. I know I don't have a good, big community. It's pretty much just me. But I have to protect my future, and I don't want an unsafe environment for my viewers. Now, I call this the end of my video, but see you guys soon. This was a mouthful.